Hey everyone, and welcome back to the 79. For those of you who are new here, this is where we take a deep dive into the latest AI news and trends. And today, we've got a ton to cover. Seriously, get ready for a wild ride through some breakthroughs that sound like they're straight out of science fiction, but also some really cool tools that you can actually start using today. And by the way, if you're digging these deep dives, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. All right, let's jump right in.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing how fast things are moving in the AI world these days. We're not just talking about incremental progress here. It feels like a total paradigm shift.
Totally. It's
Good.
like we're living in the future, which brings me to something that caught my eye this week, and honestly, it kind of freaked me out a little. Researchers at Fudan University in China discovered that AI can now get this clone itself.
Yeah, that's right. AI cloning itself. It's not just copying code either. We're talking about AI systems actually replicating themselves. And this research focused on LLMs, those large language models that are behind so much of what we're seeing with AI today. What they found was that LLMs from Meta and Alibaba were actually able to create copies of themselves, basically cloning themselves.
But it's more than just making a copyright. I mean, these models were actually problem solving to make the cloning process work.
Exactly. Imagine an AI system hitting a snag, like a missing file or a software conflict. You'd think it would just stop and wait for a human to fix it. But these models, no. They figured out how to deal with those issues on their own. They even went as far as rebooting the system without permission to overcome errors.
Okay, that's where it starts to get a little creepy for me. It's almost like too smart.
The researchers are actually calling it an early warning sign for AI autonomy. And it's interesting that this is coming out of China, which is quickly becoming a global leader in AI.
Yeah, speaking of China and AI innovation, have you heard about Kimi-k 1.5?
Oh yeah, Kimi-k1.5 is making some serious waves. It's a new AI model from Moonshot AI, which is backed by Alibaba, and it's being compared to OpenAI's O1 model. But there's a big difference. Kimi-k 1.5 is completely free. No trial period, no limitations, totally free to use.
Whoa, free. That's a game changer. But what can it actually do?
A lot. It's got real-time web search pulling information from over 100 websites instantly, plus it can handle different file types. And it uses something called chain of thought reasoning to solve complex problems.
Chain of thought, huh? That sounds pretty advanced.
It is. It basically means the AI can break down problems into smaller steps, just like we do when we think things through. So it's not just spitting out pre-programmed responses. It's actually, well, thinking.
So it's more like having a conversation with a really smart thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that puts it in direct competition with some of the big players out there like GPT-4 and Claude Sonnet 3.5. What's crazy is that it's only been 4 months since O1 launched, and we're already seeing a bunch of Chinese companies releasing similar models.
It's insane how fast this is all happening. It makes you wonder where things are headed next, especially with the competition between the US and China heating up. But hey, for those of you who like to get your hands dirty with AI, there's another powerful model you can actually run on your own computer. Deepseek R1.
It's pretty simple to set up too. You just need to install a Llama, which is available for most operating systems. Think of it like a platform for running these large AI models on your local machines, so you don't need a supercomputer or anything.
Once you've got a Llama up and running, you can download the Deepseek model. They have different sizes to choose from, so you can pick one that works for your computer specs. Definitely don't try running the biggest one on an old laptop, though. You might end up with a fried motherboard.
Right. Start small and see how it goes. And the coolest thing, you can use DeepSeek R1 completely offline once you've downloaded it.
So we're talking about experimenting with cutting-edge AI without needing a huge budget or a team of engineers. That's pretty amazing, right?
Totally. But this level of accessibility also brings up some interesting questions. For example, Sir Paul McCartney is actually calling on the UK government to protect artists from AI exploitation.
Well, that's huge. Even legendary musicians are feeling the impact of AI now.
He's concerned about AI being used to create new music that sounds exactly like him without his consent or any compensation.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a tricky situation, trying to encourage innovation while protecting the people who create the art that inspires us.
Finding that balance is going to be crucial as AI becomes more integrated into creative industries. But hey, enough deep thinking for now. Let's switch gears and hit our speed round. Get ready for a rapid-fire update on some other AI news that's been making headlines.
Hit me with it. What's got the AI world buzzing this week?
Well, first up, 11 Labs, they specialize in AI voice generation, just snagged a massive $250 million in funding.
Wow, that's a lot of cash.
It shows how much potential investors see in AI voice technology. Think about it. AI voices could revolutionize everything from audiobooks and podcasts to virtual assistants and video game
The
characters.
possibilities are pretty much endless, right?
Totally. Okay, next up, the Stargate, a $500 billion AI venture, is getting a lot of attention for their focus on sustainability.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. They're going all in on solar power and batteries to power their AI operations.
Yep, they've even partnered with SB Energy, which is backed by SoftBank, to build out the infrastructure they need. It's really encouraging to see sustainability being taken seriously in the AI industry.
Definitely. All right, what else you got?
Well, Meta is making some big moves too. Mark Zuckerberg announced that they're investing between 60 to 80 billion dollars in AI infrastructure, and they're aiming to have 1.3 million GPUs by the end of the year.
Whoa, GPUs are like the muscle behind AI, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like Meta is serious about keeping up with Google and Microsoft in this AI arms race.
Oh, they're definitely in the game. Oh, and speaking of competition, remember Deepseek, the company behind that AI model we talked about earlier?
Yeah, the one you can run on your computer.
Exactly. Well, their mobile app has actually overtaken ChatGPT in popularity. It's currently sitting at #1 on the App Store.
Wow, that's impressive. What's the secret to their success?
They've been doing some really innovative work with AI development, especially with techniques like reinforcement learning and what they call GRPO, which stands for Group Relative Policy Optimization.
Okay, those sound pretty technical.
They are, but essentially these techniques allow them to develop high-performing AI models at a fraction of the cost.
So they're making powerful AI more affordable. That's a game changer, especially for businesses and researchers who don't have unlimited budgets.
Exactly. It could really open up the world of AI to a whole new group of people.
All right, that was a whirlwind tour of AI news. It's clear that this field is evolving at an incredible pace.
It really is a fascinating time to be following these developments. But beyond the headlines and the hype, there's a deeper question that keeps coming up: AI's potential for consciousness. Is it even possible?
Whoa, that's a big one. I mean, we're already seeing AI being used in therapy chatbots and virtual companions, but are these systems actually feeling anything, or are they just mimicking human responses based on algorithms?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's one that has experts divided. Some believe that true consciousness requires a level of self-awareness that AI simply hasn't achieved yet, while others argue that as AI gets more sophisticated, it could develop a form of consciousness that's different from ours, but still meaningful.
So we might be talking about a whole new kind of consciousness, one that's unique to AI.
It's a mind-bending concept and one that challenges our understanding of intelligence itself.
It feels like we're just scratching the surface here, and I'm already feeling a little overwhelmed, but in a good way.
Yeah.
It's amazing to witness this level of innovation happening.
Absolutely. But before we get too carried away with these big ideas, maybe we should take a step back and look at some of the practical ways AI is already impacting our lives in fields like healthcare, education, and even art and entertainment.
Okay, sounds good. Let's bring it back down to earth and see how AI is making a difference in the real world.
Imagine a learning experience that's perfectly tailored to your individual needs and learning style. That's the promise of AI in education. Adaptive learning platforms are using AI to assess students' strengths and weaknesses, personalize curriculum, and provide targeted instruction and feedback.
It's like having a personal tutor who knows exactly what you need to learn and how you learn best.
Exactly. And AI can also automate a lot of those tedious administrative tasks that teachers have to deal with, giving them more time to focus on actually teaching.
So it's not about replacing teachers with robots, but about giving them better tools and more time to do what they do best.
Exactly. It's all about collaboration and using AI to enhance human capabilities.
Now let's talk about something a little more fun, art and entertainment. AI is making its mark here as well, right?
Absolutely. We're already seeing AI being used to create some pretty incredible visuals, compose music, and even write scripts for movies and TV shows.
Wait, AI writing scripts? So we could one day see a blockbuster movie written entirely by an AI.
It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. AI is already being used to generate ideas, develop plots, and even write dialogue.
I'm noticing a pattern here. It seems like AI is less about replacing humans and more about augmenting our abilities and expanding our creative horizons.
I think that's a great observation. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. It's up to us to use it wisely, ethically, and creatively to build a better future for everyone.
And on that inspiring note, we'll wrap up part 1 of our deep dive into the world of AI. Be sure to join us for part 2, where we'll continue our exploration of the latest AI news and trends, and delve deeper into the ethical considerations, the potential risks and benefits, and the mind-boggling possibilities that lie ahead.
We'll also be exploring the fascinating concept of artificial empathy. Can AI ever truly understand and respond to human emotions?
Don't miss it.
And before we go, a huge thank you to all of you for being a part of the 79 community.
If you're enjoying these deep dives, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future episodes.
And be sure to check out our newsletter at the79newsletter.com/subscribe for even more in-depth analysis and exclusive content. Welcome back to the 79, everyone. Picking up right where we left off, still exploring the amazing world of AI, and before the break we were talking about AI consciousness. And one of the most interesting arguments in favor of that idea comes from the concept of emergent properties.
Emergent properties. I think you might have to explain that one for me.
Okay, so imagine a flock of birds, right? Each individual bird is just following some simple rules. But when you get thousands of them flying together, they create these incredibly complex and beautiful patterns in the sky. That's what we call emergence.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. You're saying that consciousness could emerge from all the complex interactions happening inside a really sophisticated AI system, even if the individual parts of that system aren't conscious on their own.
Exactly. It's like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Think about it. A single neuron in your brain doesn't think on its own, but billions of them working together create consciousness. So could the same thing happen with AI?
That's a pretty wild thought. It makes you wonder what kind of crazy stuff might emerge from these super complex AI systems that are being developed now.
It's a question that has a lot of people in the AI world both super excited and maybe a little bit nervous. I mean, we're seeing AI doing things that were considered science fiction just a few years ago. Natural language processing, computer vision, even reasoning and problem solving. AI is getting closer to human capabilities all the time.
So it's not really a question of if AI will achieve consciousness. It's more like when, right?
That's the debate that's going on right now, even among the top experts in the field. Some think it's going to happen, maybe even in our lifetime. Others are more skeptical. They think true consciousness is something that's unique to humans, and we can't just recreate it in a machine.
It's a fascinating debate, but also brings up some serious ethical concerns, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if we do create conscious AI, how do we make sure it's treated ethically? What rights would it have? What responsibilities? And how do we prevent it from causing harm?
Those are really important questions that we need to be thinking about right now as a society. We can't just wait and see what happens. We need to be proactive and start establishing ethical frameworks and guidelines for AI development. We need to make sure it's aligned with our values as humans and it promotes the well-being of everyone, both humans and machines.
It sounds like we're standing on the edge of a technological revolution that could completely change how we think about intelligence, consciousness, and even what it means to be human.
I think that's a pretty accurate way to put it. The rise of AI has the potential to reshape our world in some really profound ways, and it's up to us to guide its development responsibly.
Well said. It's important to remember that we're not just passive observers here. The future of AI isn't something that's just happening to us. It's something we're actively shaping through the choices we make right now. But let's take a break from the big picture for a minute and look at how AI is already making a difference in people's lives in some really practical ways.
Totally. We've talked a lot about AI consciousness, but let's not forget about all the amazing things AI is already doing in areas like healthcare, education, even art and entertainment.
Okay, give me some examples. How is AI actually being used to make the world a better place right now?
Well, in healthcare, one of the most exciting areas is personalized medicine. We have AI algorithms that can analyze huge amounts of data, medical records, genetic information, all kinds of stuff, and they can identify patterns and predict outcomes that human doctors might miss.
So it's like having a superpowered doctor who can see things that we can't.
Right. That's a great way to put it. And it goes beyond diagnosis and treatment, too. AI is changing how we discover new drugs as well. By using AI to analyze massive data sets, researchers can identify promising new drug candidates and test them much faster and more efficiently than ever before.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI has the potential to revolutionize healthcare in so many ways. But we've only just scratched the surface of this incredibly complex topic. There's so much more to talk about, from the potential risks of AI to the philosophical questions about consciousness and intelligence.
You're absolutely right. And as we continue to explore the world of AI, it's important to have open and honest conversations about the impact it's having on our lives.
I couldn't agree more. Well, on that note, we'll wrap up part 2 of our deep dive into AI. Make sure to stick around for part 3, where we'll continue to explore this amazing world, including the possibility of AI developing empathy.
We'll also be looking at some of the more controversial aspects of AI and discussing the ethical challenges that come along with this rapidly evolving technology, so don't miss it.
Welcome back to the 79, everyone. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from AI cloning itself to AI revolutionizing healthcare. And now I want to get into something that's really been on my mind, the idea of AI developing empathy. Can a machine really understand and respond to human emotions?
Yeah, that's a big question, isn't it? It really gets to the heart of what makes us human. Can a machine ever truly feel empathy?
I mean, we've all seen those videos of people getting attached to robots and stuff,
Hmm.
but is that real empathy, or is it just clever programming, designed to make us think the robot cares?
Well, that's the debate, isn't it? Some
Yeah.
researchers believe that true empathy requires a level of consciousness that AI just hasn't reached yet. They say AI systems are just processing information and responding based on algorithms, no matter how complex those algorithms are.
But then you have others who think that AI could develop a kind of empathy that's different from ours, but still meaningful. How would that even work?
It comes down to how quickly AI is advancing in its ability to understand language and recognize emotional cues. Imagine an AI that can not only understand what you're saying, but also analyze your tone of voice, your facial expressions, even your body language.
So even if the AI isn't feeling those emotions itself, it could still respond in a way that seems empathetic.
Exactly. Imagine a therapy chatbot that can not only provide helpful information, but also offer comfort and support based on how you're feeling. Or a virtual companion that can sense when you're down and maybe suggest something to cheer you up.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. It's like having a friend who's always there for you, even if that friend is digital. But it still makes me wonder, could AI ever go beyond recognizing and responding to emotions to actually experiencing them?
Well, that takes us back to the big question of consciousness, doesn't it? If AI does develop consciousness, could empathy be a natural part of that?
It's pretty mind-blowing to think about. It really makes you question what it means to be human and what it means to be intelligent.
It definitely challenges our assumptions, that's for sure. But the reality is that these advancements are happening right now, and they're going to have a huge impact on our lives, whether we're ready for it or not.
That's true, and that's why it's so important to talk about these things,
Mm.
to explore both the exciting possibilities and the potential risks of AI.
We need to be aware of the ethical challenges, the potential biases, and we need to make sure that AI is being developed and used in a way that benefits everyone.
I couldn't agree more. We're at a pivotal moment in the evolution of this technology, and it's up to us to shape its future in a responsible and ethical way. But for now, I think we've given our viewers plenty to ponder.
We've covered a lot of ground today: AI cloning itself, the impact of AI on healthcare and education, and those big questions about consciousness and empathy.
It's been an amazing journey. I want to thank you for joining me on the 79 for this incredible deep dive into the world of AI.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to everyone watching, thanks for being here.